Hello, this is Jill Slinker, the Director of the Department of Student Programs for the Indiana Association of School Principals. Thank you for agreeing to proctor this Spell Bowl competition. We have updated the proctor instructions for you to reflect an updated rostering process for coaches. So let's begin. Now, the first duty of the proctor will be to verify the rosters. There will be an electronic roster shared with the coach who has up until the contest begins to finalize their contestants. You will open that document on your scoring computer, and when each contestant comes to the table, they will find their name on the roster and initial next to it to signify that they're competing. If their name does not appear on the roster, you will need to notify the procedural chair before the round begins. Do not let a speller who is not on the roster spell until the procedure committee has made their decision. The proctor is also responsible to maintain decorum. You want to be as little of a distraction for the students as possible. Your job as a proctor is to score the student answer sheets. If there are any irregularities, it is then your job to bring it to the attention of the procedural chair for their judgment. You will need to score the answers immediately upon the revelation of the answer. This is a live scoring event. Now, let's go over the proctor instructions. You should have seen this already, or you may have had it appear in the meeting today. Some of these instructions I've already indicated to you. For example, the new rostering procedure is in red here. So make sure that you follow the directions that are given there. And then we talk about the decorum rule. Part of that decorum rule is also don't write the spelling of the words or take notes during the competition. Don't, read them out loud, spell them out loud to yourself or anything like that. I know it's a temptation. I'm always tempted to do that when I'm proctoring Spell Bowl as well. I want to make sure I can spell the words. Um, but please don't do that during the competition. It's definitely a distraction. Please make sure that you are focused entirely on your job here. Don't be grading papers. Don't be, um, playing on your phone, anything like that. So please make sure you're focused on the job. Make sure that all student requests for repeats are recognized. Raise your hand along with the student requesting the repeat. However, if the MC doesn't see your hand in time before the recording says begin, go ahead and lower your hand, since at that point no repeat can be given. Do not take the answer sheet from the student until time has been called. They should have all of the time to make any corrections that they would need to do. When the timer announces time, the buzzer sounds, all pencils must be lifted from the paper. The correct spelling of the word will then be read and revealed by the MC. If the word is incorrect, you will place an X on the number of the word. If the word is correct, no mark is made. The answer sheet's returned to the student. At that point, you will mark their answers as either correct or incorrect on the electronic score sheet as instructed. And I will explain how to do that in a moment or two here. Now, this isn't a handwriting contest, but if a word is not legible, the proctor should mark it as incorrect, and the student may then challenge the scoring if they choose. Be sure that all the student challenges are recognized by standing. If a student tells you he believes a word has been misscored, there are no challenges allowed when a student believes that there is an alternate spelling. A student can challenge any time up until the time they sign the score sheet and leave the competition table. Now, this says, see the team's cumulative score is posted on the flip charts. Some sites may still use flip charts for scoring for the audience to see. Many sites will be using an electronic display, which goes with the electronic scoring system. Either way, you need to make sure that the score is the same on the flip chart as on your cumulative score And the same thing with the electronic score display, that everything matches. Now, if you have a question at any time during the competition, except when the students are actually spelling, you should stand. The decision of the procedural committee will be final. Okay, let's take a look at the example answer sheet. Here is a filled out answer sheet. And we only could wish that student handwriting was this good. But here's a filled out answer sheet. Make sure that the answer sheet has the team name on the team name line and that you circle the correct round for when this person is spelling. We have their answer sheet filled out. Notice that they missed 3 words, and those 3 words have an X just over the number. If you were to cross out the entire word, that would make it difficult in case there were any challenges. So please only put an X over the word. There are a couple of reminders on the sheets here, both for students and for you as a proctor. All the words have to be legible. They can write in cursive or they can print, but they have to make a clear distinction between the size of the first letter and the rest of the word in the event a proper noun is to be capitalized. Should you, the students will have 15 seconds to complete the word if they are juniors and seniors, and 20 seconds as elementary. Now, students must cross T's, dot I's, dot J's. As a proctor, all you do is place that X over the wrong answer. Make sure that you record the score on this second set of data points here. The student score, maximum 9, what they get. Also, you should have, at the beginning of the round, put down the previous round score. So the student before them in round 1 got a 4, they got a 6, now their present team score is 10. You check that against the flip chart showing the cumulative score, or against the electronic display showing the cumulative score for the team. At the end of that, you need to have the student print and sign their name, and you print and sign your name as the proctor. That verifies that the student agrees with the score, you agree with the score, and it should be official at that point. So let's go on and look specifically at how you do the electronic scoring. Now, the electronic scoring it looks more intimidating than it actually is. It's really relatively simple. What you'll do is you'll open the Google sheet that will be on your computer device. You click on the tab on the bottom of the screen with the correct team code assigned to the school that you're proctoring. So, for example here, Andrean High School is tab number 1. Now, you'll notice that all of these have a lock on them, and it will look like all of these are locked. They're not. There are certain elements on the page that are locked so that you cannot type in them, which is good because that way you can't mess up anything. But the whole page isn't locked. But you will go to the page for that team and find the correct one. So at that point, okay, once you have found your team code, you found the right page, you clicked on that, and then make sure that it is the school that you're proctoring. The school you're proctoring will be listed in column A, line 2. So if I'm supposed to be proctoring Andrean, here I am, and I am ready to go. Now, you will also have the team classification if you are dealing with the area or dealing with the state competition. If they are not correct, okay, you need to find the correct team. If you are not sure where to look for that, if you just made a mistake on what tab you're supposed to be on, find the right tab. But if you are on the tab that you were assigned and this is not the right school, you need to alert the procedural chairperson or the scorekeeper, and they will get you to the correct tab. Now, scoring the electronic answer sheet itself. So what you will do, students will spell the word using, the paper answer sheet. You will then score the paper answer sheet after they reveal the correct spelling. Then go to the Google answer sheet. If they got it correct, you will type in a capital C for the correct word. Let's make this a little bit bigger here so you can see this. Okay, you will type in a capital C in the red box for the correct word and then tab out of that box. Okay, that one that is in the green, that's not going to be revealed for a little bit. You have to wait until the official scorekeeper updates the score sheet. Okay, so you'll type the C in, right? If it is incorrect, you'll type a lowercase I and you hit enter on that keyboard. Now, you're going to enter this in the red box. It's going to remain red until a response is entered. So once you type that C in, that box is going to turn white. Okay? You're going to then wait until the scorekeeper enters the scores. Once the scorekeeper enters the scores, that's when the box is going to change to either green and give you a point if the student was correct, or it will stay a 0 if it was incorrect for that question. Okay? So 4 things are going to update on your page. If you entered the C, the 0 should change to a 1, the box will turn green. If you entered an I, the score will remain a 0 and the box will remain white. The round score then will update. That's at the bottom in between the black boxes. Okay? The total score and tiebreaker scores on each team's tab will also update. Now, these are on bottom with the multiple, notice here, with the multiple colors. That will update. Now, until you get to the later questions in the round, tiebreaker 1, 2, and 3, and 4 aren't going to be shown at all. So don't worry about that yet. Right now, we're dealing with the total score. So that will come later on. And on the audience screen, should your site use one, the total score and tiebreakers will update. Teams will change order within their class based on their current score if you're using the electronic score sheet. If you're using the flip charts, you just need to make the flip chart changes. Okay, so you do that for each question and after each question. The electronic score sheet then will be complete at the end of your round. You need to check that the paper sheet has been scored correctly. You need to cross-check it with the electronic score sheet. You need to make sure that the scores match. Once they do, you'll then have the captain sign off, or not the captain at this point. You'll have the speller sign off that he or she agrees with the scoring on the paper answer sheet and the electronic score sheet. You do the same as the proctor. And then at the end of the contest, not at the end of the individual round, but at the end of the contest, after all those rounds have been scored, you will click out of the last response box, close the sheet, and you are done. So we appreciate your help today as a proctor. We hope you enjoy yourself. Thank you again.